I was cruising down the street, fuck these three bitches put yama on me. In the yama might well be feet, cause it got two arms and some feet. Cause it wake up in the morning and it eat. I love my chopper and I think it love me. Probably cause I let that bitch do what it please. Call her hitters cause he gon' shoot the free.
And we are back with another one. We're back with another one. Yeah, today, this time we're reacting to TierZoo. TierZoo dropped another one. You know, when TierZoo drops, we're gonna be on it. What's the video called? America's Secret Top Tier Animal. Yeah. So let's get into the video. Oh shit. Damn. Fast as hell. Okay, let's go.
Cheetahs are low-tier trash.
Facts.
Fastest land build in the game has a ton of flaws in its game plan, which you could learn about in this video here if you like. But enough about cheetahs. What about the second fastest? Do you even know what it is? How does it stack up against its competition?
I feel like if cheetahs were like a social animal and there was a lot of them, they'd be S tier.
A lot on this channel about how overpowered the animals in the Africa server are. And while that's certainly true, the North America server also has its fair share of builds with ridiculously OP stats, including one little-known build with the second fastest run speed in the entire game. You might expect it to be a type of big cat, maybe a close relative of the cheetah, like the mountain lion, or perhaps a type of cervid, like a deer or elk. But no, it's actually the smallest member of the giraffe family,
Oh shit.
one that most players probably wouldn't expect to be related to the giant that we know and love. The American pronghorn.
Oh shit. Oh yeah, he said he was going to do a pronghorn video in the last one when I reacted to when we watched the giraffe video.
The pronghorn may not look like much.
I said I would be there. Now I'm here. Let's go.
Stats, including the second highest base mobility stat of any terrestrial animal.
Damn.
With only the cheetah having a higher top speed. This makes it faster than every other build in the North America server by a substantial margin. Pumas, bears, and even wolves have essentially zero shot at closing the distance to a pronghorn player. Pronghorns have much more endurance than most predators, and are able to maintain these high speeds for significant distances, not just short sprints as most predators
They're better than cheetahs.
Pronghorns also have horns on their head which can deal decent damage in a pinch, although it's pretty rare they'd actually need to use them for anything other than dueling against each other. Still, these sharp, keratinized horns can definitely do some damage. Pronghorns aren't particularly stealthy because of their bright white back end.
Damn.
However, even with how noticeable they are, if you ever see a pronghorn, it's almost certain it sees you first. Their eyes are incredibly sensitive and can detect movement from 4 miles away. Because of their huge field of view, this makes it borderline impossible to sneak up on a pronghorn unless your build has some insanely high-level stealth abilities. Pronghorns have one of the lowest HP stats of any North American ungulates.
Oh shit.
They of course share a server with builds like the elk, moose, and buffalo, all with a massive health bar, making them near impossible
They sacrifice the health for speed.
Conversely, pronghorns rely entirely on their speed stat to keep them safe, and can't really afford to take any damage at all. For the most part, the pronghorn's general game plan works great. Because they have the ruminant ability, their food is abundant, as they're able to digest grass, shrubs, and even cacti if necessary. They also are able to consume plants that are toxic to builds like sheep, cattle, and horses, meaning they don't usually compete for resources with livestock. And so, as long as they don't get careless, pronghorns are usually able to evade most conflict. So why is the pronghorn so uniquely fast? Its immense speed stat legitimately feels like overkill, and I would argue that in the current meta, it
can run for a long
absolutely
time.
is.
That's crazy.
However, the pronghorn has been one of North America's top survivalists for a long time, through several balance patches and expansions. And during the Younger Dryas expansion, there were additional, speedier threats that the pronghorn player base had to contend with, namely the American lion and American cheetah. These felid builds were extremely dangerous to a lightweight, evasive style build like the pronghorn. The American cheetah in particular had a max speed stat roughly equivalent to its African and Asian counterparts,
Damn.
but was also bigger and bulkier than
Oh,
the modern
shit.
cheetah. And so during that particular ranked season, the pronghorn...
Bro, imagine an American cheetah today, like living today. Crazy, bro. Like imagine like half the animals that went extinct in North America, living in North America today. A lot of niggas, bro. It's not humans that you have to worry about. I won't lie to you.
Big booty women in the back of the van. He was 18 times.
and endurance in order to evade attacks from these American felids. However, these felids were banned with the launch of the Holocene balance patch, leaving the pronghorn hugely overtuned for its remaining competition. Still, this didn't mean automatic success for the pronghorn. In fact, their player count was dwindling up until very recently. The reason for this is that pronghorns are extremely poor vertical jumpers,
Damn.
and so they're heavily
vertical.
impeded by any sort of barrier. They require open terrain with good visibility in order to remain competitively
I got
viable.
all that speed and no
So when
vertical.
human
That's
players
crazy.
started constructing barriers made of sharp metal, things got really dangerous really fast for the pronghorn. Most of the herbivore builds in the North American meta can easily clear the vertical of an average barbed wire fence, but pronghorn players usually opt to crawl under barriers if possible. Because of the pronghorn's low HP stat, even relatively mild chip damage from barbed wire fences can deal lethal damage to a pronghorn. This issue was really frustrating to deal with as a pronghorn main, and so most of them just opted to play characters with better vertical mobility. But eventually, the human player base realized how unfair this tech was, and opted to self-impose a ban on the tech in important areas. As a result, the pronghorn player base has recovered massively and is no longer at risk of collapsing. So I don't know if I
Yes.
can quite give them an S-tier rank, since
W humans.
they're highly vulnerable to disruption if any sort of major balance patch imposes a lot of barriers into their territory, in addition to the obvious things like human structures like roads and fences. Any increase in woodland biomes would also severely hamper their ability to detect predators or run for long distances to escape. This is the main reason why pronghorns, despite still being
I guess it's not really top tier if your whole population can be destroyed just by the presence of fences. But you get me?
faster
Okay.
than any of their potential competition, have failed to make an impact
Let 'em
in
rock, I
biomes
guess.
with less open spaces, such as the woodland tundra biome of the backcountry of Canada, or the jungles of Central America, where stealth-based builds like the puma and jaguar have more of an
Jaguar.
advantage. Now, to be fair, having an unfavorable matchup versus a jaguar isn't saying much. They are the undisputed top-tier predator throughout the entirety of the Central and South American jungle biome. But it would be impressive to see them diversify their playstyle a bit to see if they could be more competitive in less open terrain, as their other giraffoid ancestors used to be. Especially
Not
since the
ugly as shit, what
pronghorn's
the fuck?
other main weakness is made worse by the fact that they spend time in completely open spaces. That weakness being their vulnerability to aerial attacks. With no tree cover, pronghorns have nowhere to hide from the one predator that actually is able to keep up with them, the
Eagle.
golden eagle.
Oh
They
shit.
may be the second fastest land build in the game, but if you include flying builds, most birds beat this speed pretty easily,
Doesn't even
especially
matter.
predatory birds. Still, it's hard not to respect a build that managed to adapt so effectively that its strategy hard countered the game plan of their main opponents, driving them to complete and total irrelevancy. Then again, is it really that big a flex that a variant of the cheetah build ended up not being viable in the current meta?
Cheetahs are
I wouldn't be
trash.
that surprised if, given enough time,
It's soft.
the African antelope mains also started speccing into higher speed or greater bulk in order to invalidate the African cheetah's only favorable matchup.
Cheetahs are going to go extinct in like the
Anyways,
next
all that
20
being
years,
said,
bro.
I'm gonna give the pronghorn the rank of A tier.
A tier.
This video is
Sense.
brought to you by my next video on rhinos, already up on Nebula. Pronghorns are successful despite
We don't care. Anyways, yeah, pronghorns. Today we learned about a new animal. Oh, it's interesting to learn about new animals. If you want me to react to more animal videos, comment down below, bro. Tell me what to react to next. Shit's interesting as hell. I like animals. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and thanks for watching. I'm out.